Good morning, my dear friends. I'm so happy to meet you in this morning. Today is a nice morning and sunny morning. This is P. Krishnamurthy, lecturer in English, working at Government Degree College for Women, Vanaparthi. I really enjoy myself to be with you in this morning to have a discussion on chronological CV. Today's topic is on chronological CV. Yeah, chronological CV. Today, we are going to talk in very detailed manner what is chronological CV, what is the importance of chronological CV, in what way the chronological CV is going to be useful to the job seekers, and we are going to have a sample chronological CV. Before that, let's think about the present employment scenario. You know pretty well, nowadays the employment is growing, so is not going to that of the unemployment growth. The unemployees are growing like any, the rate of unemployees is growing to the highest level when comparing to the employment arena. So more number of job seekers are coming into the employment sector or job sector. That's the reason job sector is also growing widely and globally. As I told you already, on one side, corporate sector, private sector, so on par with the government sector, they're also improving, they're also attracting and creating attentions to the minds of the unemployed. The young graduates, so some of them, they're trying for government jobs, and some of them, they're not waiting for any government jobs. They're trying to prove their knowledge, they're trying to project their skills, they're trying to satisfy the employers in corporate sector and just finding their own placements and just doing and getting themselves in their jobs. So presentation of in that way. What is the importance of presenting the information? That is very, very important. So selection is going to be very important. When selection is important, but prior to the selection, there are certain steps before selection. The very fundamental, the first step is nothing but presenting your information. When any notification is released in government sector, the unemployees are going to apply in the form of biodata. Suppose there is a notification in corporate sector, there you don't find any biodata forms. You have to present your information either in the curriculum vitae or in resume. That's why the young graduates coming from professional colleges, coming from conventional colleges, so both of them, they are in search of employment. In search of employment, candidates are supposed to submit their information through different methods. One section of the students in the society that may select one method of presenting their own information. For example, some of them, they select or presented their information through resumes. Some of them select curriculum vitae to present their information. But every method is as important as any other method. Every method is to grab the attention of the employer. Whatever the method an unemployee chooses, and that is going to attract the attention of the employer. Because distinction is given highest importance here. Variety is the spice of life. How you present your information, Based on that only, your talent is going to be assessed sometimes. When you participate in group discussion, your way of presentation, your way of moving with your co-members in the group discussion, that is going to be assessed. When you appear for any interview, how you present your views logically, analytically, modestly, all those ideas are going to be assessed rightly by the interviewers. The same way, how you present your information, either in the form of resume or in the form of CV or sometimes in the form of biodata. So your skill or your knowledge, your attitude, your way of presentation is going to be so assessed by the employers in several sectors of employment. That's the reason, though we have a lot of ways and a lot of methods of presenting our information, but there are different ways of presenting information based on the ways of presentations and submissions. The CVs are divided into 7 types. Based on the ways of presentations and submissions, the curriculum vitae are divided into 7 types. They are chronological CVs, they are chronological CVs, they are functional CVs, they are combination CVs, they are CVs with profile, they are targeted CVs, they are mini CVs, there are so non-traditional CVs. So like that, 7 variety of CVs are there in CVs. One particular young man or young lady chooses to present his and her information through chronological CV. Sometimes some people, they select functional CV and present the information through functional CV. Like that, every individual has got his own, her own taste. According to the taste, according to the need, according to the demand, according to the situation, the unemployee is going to present. So, young graduate is going to present his and her information, choosing the correct chronological CVs. So, in presenting the information, that's the reason today our main emphasis, our main stress on chronological CV. Let us study what is chronological CV. So, dear young men and women, so let us study the features of chronological CV. What is chronological CV? In what way? So, it is going to be important when comparing to other CVs. What does it contain? Which are going to be mentioned in CV? What items are going to be mentioned in that chronological CV? Chronological CV is the most common popular format of writing CVs. Of all the CVs, the best method of selection, the best method of presenting your information is chronological CV. That's why it is mentioned. It is the most common popular format of writing CVs. It's the most popular and common popular format of writing CVs. So when there are 100 members are there who want to apply for jobs, who want to present their information through CVs, 90% of the people, they select chronological CVs only because they have become very, very popular, common formats of writing the information. Chronological CV gives the list of details related to education, related to special skills, related to trainings, related to experience, and related to achievements. So, my dear friends, in chronological CV, I think everything is going to be presented. Whatever that you wish to present, whatever the employer wishes to know from you, everything is going to be presented. And so you are going to provide the list of details. So regarding education, regarding special skills, regarding trainings, regarding experience, regarding achievements, all are mentioned. Remember, This is a key point in chronological CV. This is a bottom line, so point that everyone has to keep in the mind while presenting the information through chronological CV. All are mentioned in the reverse chronological order. All are mentioned in the reverse chronological order. So whichever is the latest one, that is going to be coming in the first. So suppose you have done SSC, intermediate, so BTech, MTech, which is going to be mentioned first. The first thing that is going to be mentioned here, so reverse way, as we say that reverse manner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So first you mention 5, like that. First you mention MTech, next so BTech, next intermediate, next 10th class, like that. All are mentioned in the reverse chronological order. It means most recent qualification or most recent experience, so takes place as the first position in chronological CV. That's very, very important. So you are going to present your information related to your education. Sometimes, we do a mistake by presenting 10th class, intermediate, degree, and MTech. But it's not in the case of the CV, chronological CV, that you mention the latest one. Whatever the so educational qualification that you required, so latest, and that is going to be present in the first position. Later on, that you go to 10th class. That's why it means most recent qualification or experience comes and takes first position. Chronological CV is used to draw the attention of the employer to your academic and professional qualification. You may question me, sir, why do we prefer to present the recent qualification? Why do you prefer to write our recent experience? When you want to project your the profile to the employer, so you want to grab the attention of the employer. In order to get the attention of the employer, the recent experience, recent qualification has to be mentioned, and which is going to be very, very focusing, and that may grab the attention of the employer. And that is the main point why this so reverse order is maintained. Why that latest one is going to be presented. That is the magic in presenting the information through curriculum vitae. So chronological CV is used to project an overall summary of your career. You don't, so you are not going, you are not getting worried. Don't get worried, my dear friends. So you are not going to be limited only with your so educational qualification experience. Everything that is going to be presented here through chronological CV. It is going to project an overall summary of your career. Overall summary of your career. That you have to remember. It does not highlight any specific aspect. It will present each and every item, whether it is related to experience, whether it is related to skills, related to your educational qualification. Everything is going to be projected in reverse order, in reverse chronological order. But it is not going to highlight any specific aspect. Suppose you are good at English, so you want to highlight that your communicative skills, and that point is not going to be highlighted when you choose to present your information through chronological CV. Chronological CV is the best suited for fresh graduates. Of all the CVs, which is the best one for fresh graduates, and chronological CV is the best suited form for presenting your information if you happen to be the fresh graduate. It is suited for those who have studied career graph. These are two very important points. So it is best suited for young graduates, for fresh graduates. It is best suited for those people who have studied career graph. We have studied career graph. That is the thing. So, my dear friends, this is all about this chronological CV. But in chronological CV, in a very precise way, in a very prolific manner, in a detailed manner, I would like to say to you what items are going to be included. Specifically, I'm talking about that one. Yes, we are going to present overall information related to the candidate through chronological CV. But very uh, specifically, when we talk about what items are going to be included, how many sections are there in chronological CV. So there is a lot of need to know about the structure of chronological CV. You cannot write as you wish to write. Suppose you get an idea, you want to present about your educational qualification. Suddenly you want to change that one. So from educational qualification, after writing MTech degree, you can't come to your experience immediately. You have to mention MTech, BTech, so next intermediate and 10th class. Then only you have to choose your experience. And from about the experience also, you have to present your latest experience. Then you come to the previous experience, then to the previous experience. Like that only you have to follow that reverse chronological order. You cannot switch over from one point to another point so absurdly, so awkwardly also, I could say like that. A chronological CV usually comprises 6 sections. Remember, my dear friends, whenever you think about chronological CV, you have to think the structure of chronological CV. There will be 6 sections in chronological CV. Remember, the moment you think about presenting your information to chronological CV, you need to have, there are 6 sections in chronological CV. Those 6 sections ought to be written in a clear manner as mentioned in a specified manner that you have to present. That's all. Your chronological CV is going to be an excellent one, and it is going to grab the attention of the employer, and I'm sure that you are going to get employment. There is no doubt about that one. So that's the way that every educated unemployee is supposed to know, is supposed to understand about this one. Then only you must have that idea in your mind thoroughly. You can't just read what is meant by chronological CV, what is the structure of chronological CV, and just reading in a very rapt manner, in a very absurd manner. And when you go to examination, when you go to present your information through chronological CV, you may forget 1 or 2 sections, and what happens, it will getting out of the range, and it's not going to be called chronological CV. Ultimately, what happened? Eventually, you are not going to be selected. The reason is your way of presenting the information is not according to the procedure that has been laid down. And when you want to present your information, let it be presented through one specified curriculum vitae. And for all fresh graduates, for all those people who have got steady career, it should be none other than our chronological CV only. So now we are going to study the 6 sections of chronological CV. The first one is personal information. The first one is personal information. You have to present your personal information. So what else comes under personal information? We'll talk about it later. Second one is education. So are you a graduate? Are you a postgraduate? Are you a doctorate? So do you have any conventional courses? So regarding all your education that you can mention, and the procedure of mentioning education also, that is going to be talked when we talk about the second section, education. The third section in the structure of chronological CV, experience. So regarding experience also, one, the employee might have worked for many companies, so he is going to present so all the experience that he has gained. So he has to mention all the experience. Maybe he has worked for 10 companies in 10 companies. So you would like to mention his experience in 10 companies because he is going to present, he is going to focus his experience so that he is going to gain the very lucrative salary in the coming job. Fourth one, the fourth section is skills. They are very important. In a modern employment scenario, my dear friends, in the modern employment scenario, the modern job sector scenario, skills are going to be very, very important. They are going to play a pivotal role in the selection of the candidates. That's why skills cannot be avoided. Wherever, whatever you write, skills are going to be written, but the order maybe change. When it is chronological CV, the order of skills are being taken place to the fourth position. So fifth one, interests. What are your interests? What are your achievements? So based on your interests also, your mindset is going to be assessed. Your mindset is going to be examined. What kind of person he is based on the interest. Achievements. So what kind of remarkable achievements that you have done, it shows that you are really a dedicated worker, committed worker. You are a person who is suitable for doing any job. So that shows like that. That is the fifth one. Sixth one, references. The sixth section is nothing but about references. There you have to mention the referees. Suppose you want to mention your previous employer name, you want to mention your professor name of the university, you want to mention like that. So when you talk about the structure of chronological CV, there will be 6 sections, there will be 6 headings, and so one by one, you have to complete. I just read once again. So how many sections are there in the structure of chronological CV? There will be 6 sections. The first one is personal information. The second one is education. Third one is experience. Fourth one is skills. Fifth one is interest and achievements. Sixth one is references. Okay, my dear friends, let us go on to the first section. The first heading. Now you are about to write the structure of the chronological CV. You are going to begin the structural CV. You have information. So what is the first section? What is the first item that you are going to write? It's nothing but personal information. What else is being written in personal information? What do you get in personal information? What is going to be written in personal information? There will be doubts in our minds. So which is going to be a suitable thing in our personal information? So it's all nothing like that. So don't be getting confused and don't be anxious. Personal information, under personal information, you are going to write your name, date of birth and age, postal address, contact phone number, email address. These 5 items are going to be written under personal information. Remember, so under personal information, you are going to write your name, your date of birth and age, your postal address, your contact phone number, and your email address. That you have to write under personal information in case of chronological CV. And so after writing or before writing these 5 items under personal information, keep the undermentioned things in your mind. Keep this section as short as possible. Don't try to present in detailed manner. Keep this personal information section as short as possible. Let it be very short. Write your name, date of birth, age, and personal address, mobile number, email address. That's all. Don't go on writing something else like that. So let that personal information be very, very brief like that. Do not give unnecessary information. Under personal information, don't write, don't present, don't give unnecessary information. Here you may have any doubt. What is called unnecessary information? Religion. Here it is not mentioned. Don't give anything about your religion. Don't give the information related to your marital status. Don't give information related to your community. So all these are all unnecessary things when you want to choose to present your information through chronological CV. The first section, the first heading is nothing but in the structure of chronological CV, personal information, name, date of birth, age, so postal address, So contact phone number and email, so address, that's all. So keep this section as short as possible. Do not give unnecessary information. Do not give more than one postal address. Remember, try to give only one postal address. Sometimes, in our applications, we mention present postal address, permanent postal address. So, like that we mention. No need to give like that. You give the one postal address, which is very, very accurate. Suppose you are in Delhi and you feel that you will be in Delhi for another 6 months. You give that present postal address. That's all. There is no need to mention about your permanent postal address. Right now you are staying in Delhi and try to present so that postal address where you are putting up. That's all. Do not give more than one email address. One email is enough. Don't give two email address, three email address. Unnecessary. This is all bragging about that first item of this chronological CV. Do not give any information about gender, marital status, religion. As I told you already, So don't give unnecessary information. Don't give more than one postal address. Don't give more than one email address. And let it be very, very short and brief. So the first section, the first part in the structure of the chronological CV, that is completed. Shall we move on to the second section? Second, heading. So second heading is nothing but education. Education. Second section is nothing but education. List the most recent qualification first. Come on, write the most recent qualification that you acquired. That should be written first. Suppose you have completed BTech, you have completed MTech. So first of all, you mention your MTech degree, then you mention about your BTech degree, later on like that. So list the most recent qualification first. Write the recent qualification. If you are MTech, write MTech, that's all. Next, second one, provide the years of study. So years of study, MTech, maybe 2017 to 2019. Mention that year of study. BTech, 2013 to 2017, like that. So years of study, you should also mention that one. Recent qualification first, and years of study, recent qualification years of study, then again previous study, that years. Provide the name of the institutions where you have studied. So you are going to present your degrees, the latest degree, so and the year of study and the name of the institutions where you have studied. Suppose you studied your BTech degree from Osmania Engineering College and you have completed your MTech degree from JNTU Hyderabad. You have completed your degree, your intermediate, so from the Karimnagar Junior College. You might have completed your 10th class from Mahbubnagar Junior College. So first to mention that MTech from JNTU, BTech from Osmania Engineering College, so intermediate from Karimnagar Junior College, and 10th class from Mahbubnagar High School. Like that you have to mention. Next, provide the subject options you had taken in your course. Provide the subject options. So what options were taken by you in your MTech? What options were taken by you in your graduation? So what are your special subjects at your study? So provide the subject options you had taken in your course, and they are also important. So it means to say that in which area you are going to be, you are specialized. When you mention that, so computers, so my optional subject, then they think that so you are specialized in computers. You are specialized in computers. Provide the grades, divisions or classes you score. What kind of the grades that you secured at your post-graduation? What kind of the grades that you secured so at your degree? So all your grades and your divisions and your class of passes, everything that you have to mention in the education. So remember this one. First one is personal information. Second one is purely on your education, purely on your qualification. So Then we move on to the third one. Third one, experience. You see this one? Experience. Now you come to this one, experience. First one, personal information. Second one is education. Third one is experience. That's also very important. In corporate sector, in private sector, experience is going to be an important role to provide employment for a candidate. Because are you experienced? They are just asking. Are you a graduate coming from the university right now? Are you a fresh graduate? When you say you are a fresh graduate, so you say that you don't have any experience. When you say that, are you experienced? Yes, sir. I do have experience of 2 years in this area. I work for a company, and I used to get salary of 50,000 per month. Now here it is going to offer 1 lakh per month. That's the reason that I want to shift from myself from that company to this company. So it shows that you have enough experience. So third position, third section is nothing but about experience. So in experience, how things are going to be written. List the most recent experience first. You see here, just like education, the recent education is going to be mentioned first. In the same way, in the case of experience also, list the most recent experience first. First you write, first you mention your recent experience. Provide the name of your employer. Second one, provide the name of your employer. So when you are working so into company, who was your employer? So because they want to take the feedback from that employer. How is this man? How is this person? When he was an employee in your company, was he okay? How was he towards his job? So was he disciplined? Was he committed? Was he dedicated at that time? So like that, you have to take feedback about your character, about your skill, about your job confinement. So they may take the name of this employer. Provide the name of your employer. Provide the job title. Suppose you work in any company prior to this applying. So what was the job that you were doing? What was the post that you were enjoying previously? So that job title is to be mentioned. Next, fourth one, provide your achievements in that job. Suppose when you are working in a company in the past, you might have received a lot of awards also from your general manager, from your CEO, from your maybe from any minister, maybe from state government, maybe from central government, maybe from your apex position. So provide your achievements in that job. And again, the last one, so under the heading of experience, internship. Internship and part-time work may be mentioned. Have you done any internship previously? Have you done any part-time work previously? So your internship, maybe your trainings, maybe your part-time work, although if you possess any one of these, or so if you possess all of these, you try to mention your internship, your training, your part-time work, everything that is going to be given so under the heading of experience. So first one, personal information. Second one is education. First one is total about your personal information like name, date of birth, age, and maybe your email address, maybe your postal address, like that, everything that you are going to your contact number that you are presenting. So when you think about the second section, that's education. So all your qualifications, the recent qualification that you mentioned, and where you studied, so from which period to which period that you studied, what were your grades at your graduation, at your post graduation, all those things that you mentioned. And when you come to experience, so you try to mention the recent experience first, and so write the name of your employer of the previous company. So what was the job that you were working, the title of the job that you have to mention, and provide any achievements that you got when you were performing your duties in the previous company, or maybe, and you have to mention your internship, trainings, and part-time work. So under the heading of experience. Next, we'll move on to the fourth one. Skills. Yeah. As I made it very clear to all our young friends, skills are also very, very important. So in the present job scenario, skills are going to be deciding factor. That's the reason. So here skills that you have to mention. So under the skills, what is going to be mentioned? To have any proficiency in languages, you have to mention. Suppose you are good at English, you are good at Hindi, you are good at Telugu, you try to mention your proficiency in languages like that. Good, I know I am talkative, I am proficient in English, Hindi, Telugu. So try to mention about your skills in language. Next, proficiency in computer skills. So wherever you go, whatever the job that you take, so under what capacity that you are going to be working, so whatever the capacity, wherever you do, whichever the company it might be, but computer skills are very, very important nowadays. The proficiency in computer skills that you have to mention. So language skills, computer skills, and again proficiency in other skills. Do you have any other skills? So you can mention about other skills also. So technical skills. Here, other skills here. So technical skills. So languages skills, proficiency in languages and computer skills. And again, proficiency in other skills. The third one is nothing but proficiency in other skills means our technical skills only. Suppose a person might have certain diploma in mechanical engineering. A person might have any diploma or PG diploma in any civil engineering. So besides besides having computer degree, a person might have that diploma in mechanical engineering, and that is going to be an adding point. That is going to be the adding point to the candidate. That's the reason. So do you have any other skills? The other skills also are going to be mentioned. So this is the fourth section in the structure of chronological CV. Next, fifth one. So interest and achievements. What are your interests? What are your interests? Provide details of awards and honors. First one, provide details of awards and honors. So when you achieve anything, maybe as an employee, maybe as a student, maybe as a member in the society, to have any awards. So give the details of awards and honors that you secure. So that's the thing. Provide details of articles published. Some employees, they might be doing jobs in companies in corporate sector or maybe private sector. While doing their own jobs very perfectly, but they will be contributing articles to the magazines, maybe national magazines, international magazines. Suppose your article is published in international magazine or maybe national magazine, you mention the details of articles published and provide details of any voluntary work. Any voluntary work also, you can just present voluntary work also. So now it's the time of Corona. When you have any idea to serve the public, so if you execute any social service, so in order to stop this Corona spread, so you can also mention. So for 1 month, for maybe 15 days, for 1 week, I also associated in the group of stopping or spreading further this Corona 19. So you can show your details regarding voluntary work also. All these things, they come under the heading of interest and achievements. Next, the last one. The last one, references. The last one, reference. You or mention 2 names as references. You have to mention 2 names as references. One name from your place of study. Remember, my dear friends, whenever you want to give the names of references. So in the case of chronological CV, you are going to present 2 references. So when you want to, what kind of person is going to be a referee for you? So one name from your place of study. Suppose you studied your BTech degree from Osmania University. Suppose you studied your MTech degree from JNTU. So you just mention one of the professor's name. So either from Osmania Engineering College or from JNTU, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University. You mention any professor name, any lecture name so as one reference, one name from your workplace, one name from your workplace. Previously, you had the experience of working in other company, so you try to mention one name from your previous workplace. So in that way, two references ought to be given. If you do not have any experience, sometimes yes, a candidate doesn't have any experience. Give the reference name of an older family friend. Suppose a person who is applying for a job, so mentions only one reference name, the name of his lecturer or name of his professor. Okay, if he doesn't have any experience, so I think he cannot present the name of the employer of the previous company. He cannot mention. At that condition, you mention the older member in the family. You mention the name of an older family friend, and an older family friend. Suppose you have some relatives, some members in the society. So whomever feel that is the older person. So you just give his name and her name. That's enough. And give phone numbers, addresses, emails of referees. That is very important. So under the heading of references, you give the two names of the referees. One is from your place of study. The other one is from place of work. And give the phone numbers, email address, and postal address of the referees. And that way, these are the 6 sections in chronological CV, in the structure of chronological CV. So after studying this chronological CV, I would like to present to you. So 6 sections are there in chronological CV. How these 6 sections ought to be mentioned in a sample chronological CV. So that is the reason I would like to present to you one sample of chronological CV. With that, you can understand how chronological CV is going to be presented. So whenever you want to present your information to any company, so in want of any employment. So here is Ross Peter, flat number 10, Regal Court Apartments, Abbots, Hyderabad. So 500001 mobile number. So he is the candidate. He is the candidate who is going to mention about his flat, about his address, Regal Court Apartments, Abbots, Hyderabad. So 50001 mobile number and email address. So that is purely about that candidate who is applying for employment, who is applying for a job, and he is going to present his information through chronological CV. The first item, so in chronological CV, the first section in the structure of chronological CV is education. So here education is mentioned 2010 to 2012, Osmania University MA English distinction, project title teaching English as an Indian language, 2007 to 2010, Nizam College. He has done BA from Nizam College, secured first class, and his main subjects were English, economics, political science. So employment. The second section is called employment. That's called experience, I could say, like employment. Part-time technologies. 2012, so present Prime Technologies, language coordinator, responsible for arranging training for fresh recruits, lead a team of 6 language trainers, successfully roll out an online language software, organize workshop for the development of language modules. This is all about the experience that you would like to mention. So education, experience or employment. Next about the skills. Third one is skills. What kind of skills that he possesses? Writing and editing. So compiled and edited the company newsletter, created and edited content for the company website, computer skills, Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and front page, PageMaker, so CoreDraw, languages, fluent in Hindi, Telugu, English, currently learning to speak Chinese and Esperanto. So like that, coming to the fourth one, interest and achievements. So active member of Hyderabad Rocks. So all these number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 sections are completed. So next coming to this one. All 5 things are completed about the personal information, about the education, about the employment or experience, about the skills, about the what do you think about this one? So about this one, first personal information. So in the sample, personal information, education, employment, skills, interest and achievements. The last one is references. You see here, referees. References have been given. So here, Samina Mirza, head of HR and training, Prime Technologies, Hyderabad. Here, Professor M.S. Rao, head of the Department of English, Osmania University. So this is the sample chronological CV. So that is meant for you. So okay, now we'll come to the conclusion. And today in our video class, we really enjoyed ourselves and known about the types of CVs. So known about the types of CVs. How many types of CVs are there? There are 7 types of CVs are there. Known about the features of chronological CV. What are the features of chronological CV? So known about the structure and sections of chronological CV. Known about the structure and sections of chronological CV. And apart from that, one sample chronological CV is also given. In sample chronological CV, personal information, education, employment, skills, interests and achievements, and so references. So after writing this chronological CV, when you want to send this chronological CV, when you want to present or when you want to send this one through postal, through any courier method, you just write one covering letter in 3 or 4 sentences, or maybe extend it to 5 lines. Prepare covering letter to CV in 3 to 5 lines and send it to the employer. So after preparing chronological CV, mentioning each and every item and try to check whether all 6 items are mentioned in that one. After writing the chronological CV thoroughly and perfectly, you write a covering letter to that one and send it to the employer. I'm sure that the candidate who performs perfectly, profusely, so very, very passionately by mentioning all the 6 items in chronological CV and with a covering letter, I'm sure that he or she is going to get employment. There is no doubt about that one. And this is what you understand about this chronological CV. I hope everyone has understood very well, and this is going to be very useful for your future presentation, for your future usage whenever you want to present your information in search of any employment. And thank you for really enjoying this one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for providing a space for me to express all my views regarding this chronological CV and structure of chronological CV and components of chronological CV and a sample of chronological CV, including a covering letter. And thank you one and all for being with me, for listening and for understanding this one. Thank you very much.